Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Although today does feel like a Friday, doesn't it?
We still have to come in tomorrow.
I don't know why though. Well, I don't know why it feels like a Friday. I know why we have to come in tomorrow. Anyway, let's take a moment and pause and say thanks to everyone who's making the world run. Let's start with the men and women in the military, police officers, firefighters, doctors, nurses, lab technicians, hospital orderlies, small business owners, restaurateurs, truck drivers, everyone working at the grocery stores and fast food joints, the Port of Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Oakland, and Union Station, the pilots and flight attendants. Let's listen to the national anthem.
Some might label us right-wing. We say, clip our wings and just call us right. It's the John Phillips Show.
And a very happy Thursday to you at 12:07 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wiggs in Culver City.
John, we are broadcasting live on the radio on 790 KABC and 810 KSFO, and we're also broadcasting on video. You can watch us every single day from noon to 3 at JohnnyDon'tLike.com. It's as simple as that. JohnnyDon'tLike.com takes you right to the YouTube page. You can subscribe. You can hit that like button to send us out into the stratosphere, and you can hang out in the chat room. And anyone that was here right when the show started may have noticed that, yes, that poster fell again, and I had to fix it during the national anthem. Radio stations are literally held together by duct tape.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. Well, the monster that Gavin Newsom created could end up eating him here in the state of California, as the SEIU has an initiative that is qualified for the November ballot that's a wealth confiscation tax that would target California's billionaires. And if you're wondering how many people this applies to, it's really a small handful of people. When you think about it, we have the tech people up in Silicon Valley. We have the people that own all the sports franchises, which is now everywhere but Oakland. We have that guy, Edwin Castro, that won the $2 billion from the Powerball. And then we have anyone who got molested by a priest. So you're just talking about not that many people, but it's all the important people in the state. And if they leave, they're going to take their businesses and their money with them, and it's going to blow the budget.
That's true, but how good would it feel to take away Tom Steyer's money?
I'm Tom Steyer, and I'm about to ride the D.
Yeah, but we're not singling him out. If we were singling him out, then okay, let's all pile on.
This bill, if it passes, Proposition 40 is what they're now calling it, it would affect about 200 billionaires up and down the state of California, and it would somehow be able to tax a portion of their wealth and their unassumed earnings, so their assets, based on if they were here on January 1st, 2026, which is why some of them left on December 31st, 2025, just on the idea that this thing might make the ballot and may pass. And one of the things that's not talked about enough, because I don't think the people supporting this even care where the money goes, it's really just about a class warfare thing. Most of the money goes to the healthcare union that put this on the ballot, and you might think that means it's going towards healthcare. A big portion of that money is actually going towards the pensions for the SEIU healthcare union.
And the reason that so many of these billionaires have already moved out of state before we've even taken a vote on this is because they have zero faith in the California electorate. And can you blame them? In fact, Randy, let's check in with the average California voter right now to find out what they think about this initiative.
No, I don't know enough to give you any good information, but good luck finding someone who does.
And that's why we're in the situation that we're in.
Well, here we are just a few months before the November election, and a poll shows that Prop 40 is likely to pass in the state of California. But it's not a done deal, and there's going to be a lot of real confusing things on the November ballot that may derail its passage. For more on this, we go to a report from KCRA3 in Sacramento.
The fight for and against the proposed billionaire tax is heating up. Californians are deciding in November if the
Commitment 2026. Are we getting married?
Maybe.
state's billionaires should face a tax to fund health care programs after recent federal cuts.
Our KCRA3 political director, Ashley Zavala, joins us. So what's the update on this, Ash?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the biggest fights we're going to see heading into November. The campaign supporting the billionaire tax today released an internal poll showing support for the one-time 5% tax.
Nobody believes it's one time.
No. Weren't they already polling whether or not the public would allow them to do this to millionaires after they hit the billionaires?
Well, and you remember the campaign for governor when everyone was being asked about this, notably people like KT Porter were like, well, it doesn't go far enough. I want to go after those 100 millionaires and those 10 millionaires.
And that's why we call her America's sweetheart.
Well, and one of the things that's written into the legislation, if it passes, is that the legislature can amend this and re-implement this tax whenever they want with a majority, which they have a supermajority, and change the threshold. So it can be a billionaire one-time tax today. In a couple of years, when the state budget is blown, it's going to be down to a multimillionaire tax, and then what happens?
Tax on billionaires. The tax would apply specifically to California residents with at least $1 billion in assets. Okay, so here's the result of the poll. 1,500 California voters were surveyed. Of them, 57% supported the tax, 38% opposed it.
That's a pretty wide margin going into the beginning of campaign season.
And I have talked to consultants who are not publicly working for one side or another on this particular initiative. And in their own private polling that they've done so far, it's very similar to what you're seeing here right now.
So what do you think that is behind that? Is this Californians raising their middle finger to Elon Musk, who doesn't even live here anymore? I mean, it sure seems that, like, the support behind this, they don't really care where the money goes. They certainly don't care that it's going towards healthcare, but they're sick and tired of the Bezoses and the Ballmers and all the other billionaires in this state.
And in politics, it seems like things are thematic and things work in cycles. And right now, within the Democratic Party, the DSA is on its ascendancy. They won a bunch of primaries in New York. They won the mayor's seat in New York. They won the mayor's seat in Seattle and Chicago, and they earned a slot on the November ballot in Los Angeles. And you're going to see potentially even more DSA wins in Michigan and other states that have yet to vote, Wisconsin. If that is something that is a thing this year within the Democratic Party, in a Democratic state like California, yeah, you would expect something like this to pass.
The report, this poll, does not clarify where the remaining 5% fall, and we did reach out to the campaign to provide that information. We haven't heard back yet. The Yes on Prop 40 campaign also highlighted strong support among teachers, healthcare workers, and union members.
That's interesting, because what we've heard from the opposition is that some of the people that are really against this are the teachers, because not any of this money is going towards the teachers' unions. And if this actually lowers state revenue, which it could, that means that you have less money going into Prop 98, which means less money going to the schools, which means less money going to Cecily Meyer Cruz.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much money the CTA is willing to spend to defeat this thing, because it seems like they can talk to their own members. If teachers are one of the groups that supports this overwhelmingly, if the CTA really hammers them hard and says, don't vote for it, maybe that's enough to get them to lose 7% support, which is what you need to do to get them under 50%.
Well, you got to think about another possibility. If this thing passes by a wide margin, there may be a completely different calculation, because this is being sold as a one-time 5% tax to fund healthcare cuts, what have you. What if CTA and UTLA decide, okay, people like taking money away from the billionaires. What if in 2028 we have another 5% wealth tax, and this time it's for education?
Well, and think about this. Part of what allows the state to exist right now is the high-tech industry. That is the industry that is not only driving the economy of Northern California, but the entire state of California, and at this point, the entire country and the globe. AI is going to be the biggest thing that's ever hit the earth, and it's headquartered right here in California. I think part of the assumption that the SEIU is making here, and that the politicians that support this initiative are making, is they think that big tech is going to be here forever because they like the good weather and they like coastal living. And so it doesn't matter how bad the taxes are or how bad the policies are, they're going to be here for eternity. And I don't necessarily think that that's true. At one point in time, California had a lot of the big banks headquartered here. Well, guess what? A lot of them are gone. At one point in time, we had big oil headquartered here. Well, guess what? A lot of them are gone. The same thing is true with any number of other industries. Why would big tech be any different? If anything, it's easier to move big tech to other states because you just need buildings and energy. The oil is here, so it makes sense that the oil companies would be headquartered here. But you can't make that same argument for big tech. If they decide, all right, California's done, we're going to Austin or we're going to Florida, it's a much easier move for them than for big oil.
Enjoy the summer if you move to Austin. A lot of people move back after a couple of those.
Now, Governor Gavin Newsom is against the billionaire tax, and with the release of this poll, supporters of Prop 40 say that his attempt to position himself against it is, quote, falling flat.
Okay, so that means that the Democrats are just checked out on Gavin Newsom, too. We're not the only ones ignoring him.
Poor Gavi. He's not special anymore. He's got an expiration date.
Newsom helped launch the Stop the Squeeze campaign to fight the new proposed measure. A spokesman for the Stop the Squeeze campaign gave us this statement in response to the poll today. He said, quote, "It has superficial appeal when it's first introduced as something related to wealth inequality, but support plummets once voters learn it would make the problem worse and hurt the very people it claims to help by forcing cuts to schools, housing, and public safety."
How many voters in this state do you think read past the third line?
And guess who gets to write the title and summary?
Oh, that would be Bobbert Bonta.
Bob Bonta.
Bobathy.
And leaving regular taxpayers on the hook to make up the difference. The latest campaign finance records show the Stop the Squeeze campaign has raised $400,000 so far. It is one of several campaigns that have formed to fight the tax. Combined, all of those campaigns have so far raised.
Let me just apologize in advance if on KABC or KSFO or even on the YouTube channel you start seeing nonstop ads for or against the billionaires tax, because it is estimated that it might be double what we saw with Steyer.
Oh, it's going to happen.
$10.8 million. So far, though, state data shows supporters have not raised any money in support of Proposition 40.
So Prop 40 isn't the only measure voters will see on their ballot that references the billionaire's tax. That could be a little confusing.
Yeah, it's going to be very confusing, and that is partially by design, experts would say.
It's a redux of what they did with the sports gambling bills of 2022. Put so many confusing things on the ballot that we vote them all down. And then sports gambling became legalized anyway because of Kalshi. We just don't call it gambling. We call it trading.
There are two propositions aside from Prop 40 that voters will decide in November that would invalidate the billionaire tax.
And by the way, these were those propositions that were hiring signature gatherers that were paying the homeless in the Tenderloin in San Francisco to fill out a bunch of names. Turns out they had enough legitimate ones, but they were offering like $25 a signature to get this thing on the ballot. And there are some people who hear that and say, yeah, that makes me want to vote for the billionaire tax even more.
One would require audits of programs funded by new state special taxes. The other prohibits new state personal property taxes. Whichever proposition with the most yes votes becomes law. Again, if either one of those gets a yes vote, the billionaire tax would be invalidated. It's going to be a lot to wrap your head around. You'll start seeing advertisements for some of this. Just buckle up for November in this fight.
It's so complicated for the voter. All right.
Everyone's just knowing that it's going to be so annoying everywhere. Your TV, your phone, your computer, it's going to be all billionaire tax all the time.
Well, what's even more annoying than that is if this passes, our budget is going to be blown because that industry pays the bills.
Ashley, thank you.
So there you go. Right now, the first big internal poll of Prop 40, the billionaire's tax, shows it passing by a pretty wide margin, but it is early days, as they say on Love Island.
All right. If you're watching us on YouTube right now over at johnnydon'tlike.com, make sure you click that like button. We're already at what? What's the number right now, Randy?
Well, I have to look it up. I usually look it up during the breaks, and then I text you, hey, look at the number. But let's check it out. I'm going to open up my YouTube app, and you know what? I don't think I've liked it yet. So I'm going to go to my videos, and I'm going to go to Will California Pass the Billionaire Tax? We're at 66 likes starting the show. Let me turn the volume off so we don't hear doublespeak. All right, there we go. 66 likes. I love it.
All right. It's the John Phillips Show.
I've been talking about Clark Fielding for over 8 years because Clark Fielding has helped out KBC listeners for a very, very, very long time. This guy is the guy that you want in your corner, helping you out with your case, whether you're hurt in any kind of accident, whether it's a car accident, dog bite, slip, trip, or fall. Clark and Fielding in the School of Sharks at Fielding Law, the jaws of justice, well, they do it all. 833-88-SHARK, 833-887-4275. Clark Fielding has got 5-star reviews on Yelp and Google. This is the guy you want in your corner, helping you out with your case, so find out if you have one. Get a free consultation from Clark Fielding and the Jaws of Justice at Fielding Law at 833-88-SHARK, 833-887-4275, 833-88-SHARK. And go to the website, clarkthesharklaw.com. That's clarkthesharklaw.com, clarkthesharklaw.com.
Hurt in an accident? Bite back. Call Clark. 833-88-SHARK. clarkthesharklaw.com.
It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you can not only listen to the show on the radio, but you can watch us on YouTube, participate in the chat, and click that like button.
We're broadcasting live every single day. It's very simple to check us out, johnnydon'tlike.com. You can watch the show, react to all the videos along with us. There's a lot to see, and we've got a lively chat room. People are hanging out, joking around. We're here until 3 o'clock, and I love this. Just got a note from listener Augie. Smoke and Scan sent me here, so thanks so much, Damon, for the shout-out. I didn't realize that was happening. That's very exciting. Maybe we have to do a collab with Smoke and Scan, but John and I will not be smoking.
Maybe sausages.
That's how I'm going to smoke. I'll bring some New Braunfels sausages from Texas. Meanwhile, they can toke it up. But we love the guys at Smoke and Scan. They are famous for doing live video feeds of what's going on at the LA City Council meeting, uncensored.
And we also have a new edition of the Accountability Podcast that just dropped.
Accountability Podcast with John Phillips and Randy Wang.
Accountability.
It's even easier to find that, too, because we decided to merge the two channels because we don't need to tell you to go to two channels. It's all on the same channel, johnnydon'tlike.com. You scroll under today's show, you'll see the Accountability Podcast, all 5 episodes. Our latest episode has Johnny and I diving into the real possibility that Kamala's going to run again.
We are doing it.
So make sure, if you haven't seen it yet, make that your appointment viewing for as soon as we sign off today at 3 o'clock. There's tons of on-demand content on the channel at johnnydon'tlike.com, and we appreciate you watching it, liking it, and leaving your comments. Make your voice heard.
In the meantime, what do you say we make a couple of listeners very happy?
Let's do that right now. 790 KABC welcomes Steel Pulse with special guest Long Beach Dub All-Stars Eli Mack and Common Sense. Is that Common? I guess he's calling himself Common Sense again. All right. At the Pacific Amphitheater at the OC Fair on August 16th. Tickets are on sale now at packamp.com. But right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. All concert tickets include admission to the OC Fair. Tickets furnished by the Pacific Amphitheater. Good luck dialing. I got to update that email with Tricia saying we need to get Smoke and Scan on the show. That'll be a fun one.
Well, I'm looking at the chat. This is the first time I can think of. I've been told I look like a rapper.
John's looking like Macklemore. John, bust some bars.
You do not want to hear me sing. Trust me on that. All right. The city of Oakland is having yet another problem with one of its pro sports franchises. Those details up next.
No purchase necessary to enter or win. Sweepstakes open to U.S. residents only, except New York and Florida. 18 and older. Rent 11/126. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit CarProSweeps.com. Sponsor Acuity Marketing, Inc. DBA CarPro.
Now is one of the best times to enter to win a 26 Corvette Stingray at CarPro.com. For a limited time, qualifying entry packages receive up to 30 times the entries. Win a brand new 2026 Corvette Stingray or $40,000 cash. This special launch promotion won't last long, so don't wait. Go to CarPro.com today and get entered. Now, let's talk more about CarPro.com. Listen to this 5-star review from listener Doree from Carson about her experience with CarPro.com and Kia of Carson. Quote, this dealership should hold a master class on how to lease and sell vehicles. Everything went so smoothly, I was blown away. No haggling, no BSing. Everything was straightforward, honest, and easy. I'd been to at least 6 dealerships prior that were all awful. I was so happy with Kia of Carson, I cannot recommend them enough, end quote. For the same kind of VIP treatment and rockstar pricing, go to CarPro.com, put in your zip code and what you're looking for, or you can call or text message Tom Haynes, the Big Cheese, directly, right on a cell phone at 818-435-6797. Stop doing it the hard way. Go to CarPro.com. It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you want to watch us perform the show live, go to johnnydon'tlike.com. All right. We know that the homeless numbers in LA are up. We know that the homeless numbers in Long Beach are up. But we could see the homeless numbers in Oakland go up, but kind of a different kind.
While homelessness is up throughout the state of California, there's a very specific kind of homelessness that is natural to the city of Oakland, and that is sports team homelessness.
And we still got our Oakland A's, baby.
No, you don't. Oakland's Coliseum, which has been the center of all kinds of controversy with this crooked deal that Shengi came up with,
I can get that.
has not really had a lot of action or things to do there. One of the things that the Coliseum has had for the past 2 years is the Oakland Roots, the Oakland soccer team. And Johnny, the Oakland Roots apparently have not been paying the Coliseum their rent. They owe them over $1 million, and they're going to get evicted from the Coliseum unless they pay the bill.
What happens if the repo man comes and evicts a professional soccer team from a building? What do? Take the balls? Take the shin guards?
One of the ideas, if they cannot play in the Coliseum, and I'm not making this up, and it inspired the show graphic that you can see during the commercial breaks, what if they just played in the parking lot?
On asphalt?
For more on the woes of one of the last sports franchises in the city of Dumpy, here is KTVU Fox 2. Now, I do have to point out, this story's from last night. There was an update this morning that they made a tiny little payment so they can play this Saturday, but after that, who knows? But this is the better rap, so we're going with it.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear it?
No.
You can't hear my rap?
No.
Why
I can't
not?
see it either.
Oh, because I didn't put it on. My bad. I'm starting to get a little crazy. I think I'm working a little too much. Okay. Excuse me. Let me open up this. Let me put on the lower third. Sometimes I'm doing all this stuff by myself, kids. Okay.
Now, wait a minute. The Oakland Roots, is that a soccer team that is made up of men or women?
That is a men's soccer team. I think the women's soccer team is the Oakland Soul.
Okay, so is this named after that TV show that starred LeVar Burton, Maya Angelou, and one Orenthal James Simpson?
I do not think it is.
What's going on, America?
He was in the show.
Now, I apologize. Let's start the
Katie
rap.
Teray was his name.
Here's the KTVU piece. My apologies. I'm so burnt out.
Tonight, the clock is ticking as the Oakland Roots scramble to come up with back rent or face the possibility of being shut out of their own venue on Saturday. The East Bay Soccer Club currently...
We can all hear it now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Going to be cursing myself all day for that. You know what I need? I seriously need, and maybe I have to put a request out to engineering. I need a second monitor because I can't even see the chat when I'm playing a video. If I had two monitors, which I have at home, maybe we could figure this out.
Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Authority nearly $1.5 million in overdue rent. KTVU Zach Sauce live outside the stadium.
Wait, over $1 million in overdue rent? When's the last time they paid the rent? 2004?
Well, part of the problem here is you have a team that has a fan base of maybe a few thousand renting out a stadium that can hold about 50,000. Although that was the same problem with the A's.
True.
Was it even full when the Angels would play?
No. No, on the top deck, they even put tarps over all the seats.
Probably got some pretty good deals the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
The latest tonight, Zach.
Yeah, Greg, it's a situation that's also put the remainder of the entire season in limbo as well. They still have 5 more games to play at home, and for the moment, both sides appear far from a deal.
Can you imagine what happens when the visiting team comes and they're like, oh, we're not playing here anymore. We're playing in the parking lot.
Yeah, what do you do? If you're the Kansas City team and you're coming into town to play the Oakland Roots, but the building's been repossessed, do you even bother to check into the hotel or just go right back to the airport?
Maybe they can turn that Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento into a soccer field, too.
Well, not with their bad credit.
I do not want a fourth professional sports team to not be successful.
At this point, it's what Oakland is known for. Oakland is known for great food and losing sports teams.
Well, if they're going to replace that team with someone else, they've gone through just about every other sport on the planet. They have the Oakland Ballers left, which is not even A-level minor league baseball, correct?
The Oakland Ballers, and I have to look this up, play for something called the Pioneer League, right, Shangy?
Oakland Bees!
The Oakland Ballers, if you look up their official Wikipedia page, which I'm pulling it up right now. In fact, I can share this tab with everybody. Let's see. Are we showing everybody? The Oakland Ballers are with the Pioneer League. Who is the Pioneer League? Who are their opponents, you wonder? Well, they play teams like the Billings Mustangs and the Boise Hawks and the Glacier Range Riders. And don't forget the Great Falls Voyagers.
Well, maybe after they move out, they can get a professional highlight team and they can play Tijuana.
I think the Modesto Roadsters went out of business, so the only other California teams they've got a Long Beach one, the Long Beach Coast, because all the Long Beach people are still pissed that the Angels won't move there, and the Yuba Sutter Freebirds.
Quite a league.
Here in Oakland or in Alameda County.
But at the moment, the Oakland Coliseum and the Roots finding themselves at an impasse, according to the San Francisco
Stadium looks so clean because no one uses it.
Chronicle, the Roots owe the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Authority $1.4 million in overdue rent, and they're now threatening to bar the team from playing its Saturday match and 5 remaining home games at the stadium if the club doesn't pay up.
I want to make it very clear.
We're a team without a stadium.
They're just going to put padlocks on the door?
Yep. If they start playing, the sheriff's going to take that ball and walk out with it.
We want to receive all of the revenues and fees that are owed to us. That's our fiduciary responsibility to the county and the city of Oakland. But we want to do it in a responsible way that allows the Roots to continue to play.
What's so funny is because who knows what they're charging the Roots for rent? It seems like it might be a little high because there surely isn't a lot of demand to use the Coliseum. How many monster truck shows can you really do in a year?
Continue to be successful.
David Halbert, an Alameda County supervisor who also sits on the board of commissioners for the Coliseum Authority, Halbert hoping to hold an 11th hour special meeting to hash out a deal to keep the team on the field for Saturday.
I personally want to be flexible enough to allow them time to come up with a payment plan to make sure that they can.
They're not even filling up the bottom deck, this poor team.
Not even close. Now I know why they haven't been paying the rent.
Well, again, Major League Soccer in the U.S., it's not like the World Cup. It has a fan base, but it's a small fan base. It's like how there are exactly 19,000 Kings fans. The problem is they're renting out a massive stadium that they do not need to fill, but where else are they supposed to go? And if you're the Coliseum, you might want to work out with these people because this is the only game in town, literally.
Well, they're also a bunch of deadbeats, though. So what's the point of cutting a deal if they're not going to be good for it?
Continue to play the rest of their season. They have no real way of raising money to pay us unless they play their games.
So far, the Roots declining to comment, but the news comes just.
All right, whoever's paying to sponsor the little sidelines at the Oakland Roots soccer game, please call our sales department. We have a bigger viewership than the Oakland Roots.
Weeks after the team announced its plans to leave the stadium following the season.
This little YouTube channel in the first month has 36,000 unique viewers. That is more than the Oakland Roots by a lot.
Due to the high rent and inability to collect sponsorship fees at the stadium, according to the Chronicle, the club is currently operating at a substantial loss. Professional sports consultant and former Oakland A's executive Andy Dolish says the team will be facing an uphill battle to find an alternative venue at the right price.
There are soccer fields around. You're coming from a position of weakness based upon the financial shortfalls that I believe have been reported.
Yeah, what's it like when you're trying to make a deal with an alternative venue and they know that you're not good for whatever check you're writing?
Well, if you have 45 people in the stands, just go to a junior high school. That's all you need.
To the Coliseum. And you're just a few days away, that does not put you in any kind of positive negotiating position, but you'll find a place to play.
For the next season, the Roots are considering 2 short-term options. One includes putting up modular grandstands at their training facility in Alameda, the other a pop-up stadium in the Oakland Coliseum parking lot.
Oh, come on.
We can't afford the Coliseum, so how about the parking lot?
Imagine if you play for a team in a different city and you come to town and they go, okay, you're going to be playing this game in those handicap spaces over there. And then The loading dock, that's out of bounds. But the 15-minute parking zone, that counts.
Listener Jay Jareth writes in, the Roots are 9 in a league of 12.
Now I figured out what they named that team after.
What's that?
Shang's hair.
That's not nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
After the show, you really got to go watch on demand us breaking down that Shang stuff from yesterday. I believe the video is called What Really Happened on That Vietnam Trip, Shang?
They should be playing in a smaller venue. They should find the right venue in which they know.
Boy, these fans are rocking out.
Yeah, they're really into it.
Nothing more exciting than 0-0.
Early on, that they'll sell out.
And Saturday, the team takes on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So really just 3 more days to figure out something before game time. Greg?
Yeah.
How do you feel if you're Pittsburgh right now?
Well, you feel like you might slip in an oil slick when you're going for a goal.
Maybe, just maybe, what we need to do is if you're the visiting team and you come to play a game and the home team doesn't actually have a stadium to play in, automatic forfeit.
Certainly a lot of Roots fans and players hoping they come up with.
There are not a lot of Roots fans.
No. What happens if they can't even afford to play in the parking lot? What do they do next? They go play on the runway at the airport?
Maybe we'll do a street takeover soccer game. Just block all the intersections. We'll have some fun.
A solution and soon. Zach Sauce live for us tonight. Zach, thank you.
So there you go. Yet another Oakland sports franchise is set to be homeless.
And you can't blame this one on math. It's the John Phillips Show. It's the John Phillips Show. If you want to watch us perform the show live, go to johnnydon'tlike.com and make sure to click that like button as soon as you get there. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
Richard writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Uprooting the team. The problem is the Coliseum is owned by the county and the city, both whom are corrupt.
Oakland Bees!
All right, so we know that in Oakland, illegal dumping is a huge problem, and they haven't been able to figure out how to stop people from doing it. And Randy, now they're starting to get creative.
Kevin Jenkins, we told you earlier in the week, offered a $500 reward on information on the woman that dumped a couch on the side of the road. Out of a U-Haul, by the way. And now he's realized what the secret sauce is into going after illegal dumping. If we can't fine them and we can't jail them, how about a good old-fashioned public shaming?
Okay. I understand that there are contractors that dump their materials illegally because it's cheaper to do that and they have a lot of trash that they need to get rid of. It's bad. It's awful. They shouldn't be doing that. The government should come down on them like a ton of bricks. But if you're a woman and you are illegally dumping a couch on the side of the road because you can, that is the trashiest thing you can do.
For more on this, we go to a report from KRON 4.
One Oakland City Council member says he has had enough of all that illegal dumping plaguing his district. He personally paid $500, a reward to someone who helped identify a suspected illegal dumper.
You got to be sick of something to fork over $500. KRON 4's Gail Ong has more on the dumping deterrent.
Hey, there's some alliteration for you.
Let's see who this hussy is.
Hey, Oakland, I need your help. I have a $500 reward.
Oakland City Council President Kevin Jenkins posted this video over the weekend after the Safer Streets Maxwell Park social media page shared photos of a woman, her truck, and a pile of bulky items left in the neighborhood.
This lady seems to have accidentally left her stuff on Cortland and Reading Ave, and I need to find out who she is.
Oh, yeah, it was an accident.
Within an hour, Jenkins, who represents the Maxwell Park area, received a tip identifying the woman.
$500 was sent to the person who first identified Tiff. After I got the name of the person, I politely asked them to come get their things. Unfortunately, they did not get their things, so Keep Oakland Clean and Beautiful came in, retrieved the, I would say, illegal dumping from the site.
Oh, I know what you wanted to say. Pile of bleep.
And then the person deleted their Instagram and their TikTok.
Yeah, he tagged them in a post, and then they deleted all their social media. That's the right aspect of this.
Good. Let's see her.
A complaint was filed through Oakland's 311 system, the city's official channel for reporting illegal dumping. Jenkins says this kind of behavior has become increasingly brazen.
So it's absolutely imperative. People shouldn't have to live this way. It's an absolute challenge when we have little kids walking past filth. And people know what they're doing. They're doing it because they believe they can get away with it. So we have to...
Must be a real thrill in just dumping a pile of garbage on the side of the road. Not my kind of thrill, but someone's into it.
Now, wait a minute. A moment ago, he just said it was an accident.
He didn't really mean that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Show the residents of Oakland that we're willing to stand for them.
Oakland city leaders have been working to curb the problem for years. The city has been hosting block parties where residents can drop off unwanted items. Residents also have free options to get
you go
rid
to
of
a block party and you bring an old mattress?
That's one kind of party. This generation's key party. One last ride.
You bring an old mattress to a block party? What's that? Well, it was once the cradle of my love.
Bulky waste, including annual curbside pickups and drop-off services. In June,
pretty sure that couch had bloodstains.
Yeah, it looked like it was the scene of a crime.
Oakland received $9 million to tackle the issue. Part of that funding will support dedicated police investigations and the first surveillance cameras aimed at catching offenders, expected to roll out in the next few months. While some criticized Jenkins for publicly calling out the woman,
There's a lot of people saying finally somebody's standing up to do something for them.
the council president says he's prepared to offer more rewards and take even stronger steps to deter future dumpers.
The next person that I get a picture of, they are going up on a billboard. So illegal dumping.
Yes, I love this idea. He's going to put a billboard of the next illegal dumper that he gets ratted out to on a billboard on 580. That's going to be fantastic.
Imagine if there's a billboard for In-N-Out Burger on the other side with the steam coming out of the burger.
Well, in Oakland, there wouldn't be because they don't have one anymore.
We've got 2 more hours to go on the John Phillips Show. Don't you go anywhere.
Something's not right here.
Crime is up all over the state.
The homelessness in the city is out of control.
The economy is sick. Taxes are high.
Housing is expensive and businesses are leaving. California needs fixing. And John Phillips is just the man to lead the charge. It's the Fix California Hour with John Phillips and Randy Wang.
And we continue at 1:05 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wang's in Culver City.
Johnny, we're broadcasting live on the radio, 790 KABC in Southern California and 810 KSFO in the Bay Area. And we're also broadcasting live on video at JohnnyDon'tLike.com. We've made it so easy to find it, whether you're on a phone or a browser. JohnnyDon'tLike.com takes you right to the YouTube channel. When you're there, you can hit like, you can hit subscribe. We're at 181 likes for today's show, and this channel is now up to 3,742 subscribers. So thank you all so much. We're here until 3 o'clock. And then after that, we've got tons of on-demand content on the channel, including the latest episode of the Accountability Podcast, which is right under the video you're watching right now.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Well, I think it was last week we had Julie Watts from CBS News California Investigates on to talk about her multi-part series on taxpayer dollars going to an organization that is very friendly with Gavin Newsom's wife to provide free diapers for California babies. Here with an update on that, Mr. Randy Wang.
Julie Watts is continuing to dive deep into what has now been called Diapergate. By the way, we got such a huge response from that interview. We're going to be rerunning that interview and the Susan Crabtree interview from last week at the end of tomorrow's show. So if you did not get to see those interviews, we're going to play them for you because we got a lot of requests. They were some of our best interviews we've had for the month, as now we're doing these things on video. But here's the latest from the legendary Julie Watts.
This investigation began back in May as a simple fact check. That is what we Californians are actually paying for right now. That comes out to 18.5 cents per diaper. We
That's a lot of diapers.
corrected the critics' math and backgrounded Baby to Baby. Baby to Baby is a highly rated charity. Other than the state refusing to immediately release the contract, there was really only one red flag. This is what the state wants to send home with every new parent, 400 diapers. But experts warn not to buy diapers in bulk for newborns because babies can quickly outgrow diapers.
So whose idea was this, Gavin?
Good question.
Did Baby to Baby have an overstock? They overbought on size 0 diapers and figured, hey, can we get the state to buy them?
First couple of months.
Also, and I have to point this out every single time we do this story, who was asking for this? Where was the need? There are a lot of hurdles to become a parent in the state of California. It costs, on average, about $300,000 to raise a child from birth to college in the state of California. Is 400 diapers really going to push someone into the other direction?
Good question.
So stockpiling leads to waste. Turns out agency officials had the same concerns, which the records revealed when we finally got them after 66 days.
They slow rolled this contract over and over and over again until Julie found the numbers somewhere else and did a report on it. And they're like, no, here's the contract. There's nothing to see here. What are you talking about?
Whenever they act weird about these things, there's usually a reason why.
And here we are.
Now, the state warned Baby to Baby that sending new parents home with 400 diapers, quote, might be overwhelming.
Yeah, you think?
You even have room in the car for that?
And echoed warnings that only offering newborn and size 1 diapers could lead to, quote, waste because babies.
So the state knows that this is a stupid idea, but we're going to pay the nonprofit to do it anyway?
That's the state of California for you.
Quickly outgrown.
I mean, this is, by the way, it harkens back to another thing that Julie Watts did, a report from earlier this year on how the California state of California does all kinds of audits. And nobody at the legislature or the governor's office even reads them. There was an audit many years ago on how EDD was prone for fraud. They didn't do anything about it. And John, how much did we lose in 2020?
What was it? $30 billion?
Estimates are around $30 billion. Some of that went to Las Vegas steakhouses.
Them. Now, Baby to Baby pushed back, arguing against offering the additional sizes and saying their boxes, each about the size of a small carry-on bag.
What are you supposed to do with all of these diapers? And we're the ones paying for it. If we're paying for that many diapers that newborns can't even use, they better fit Jerry Brown and Maxine Waters too.
Hard to carry. Meanwhile, their competitors cited data.
Did they give you a little dolly to carry them out to the car? Does now the hospital have to pay for a staffer not only to wheel you out, but also to wheel out all the boxes of diapers? Where does the hospital keep all the diapers that are going home with you? There's a lot of weird questions about this diaper deal.
What are you supposed to do? Put the baby on the roof of your car when you load up your trunk in the back seat with diapers that you're not going to use anyway?
Like it's a piece of furniture.
Showing that 83% of families in need actually ask for diapers size 4 and above. Several organizations urge the state to...
Yeah, those infant days, they don't need anything yet. They don't need the diapers.
Size 4, that's pretty big though, isn't it? How much breast milk are these kids drinking?
This segment has already taken a dark turn.
Amazon proposed letting families select sizes delivered to their door with returns. But Amazon is missing from...
Although we all know what the Amazon return process is like. Why don't you want these diapers? Are you sure you don't want these diapers? Please tell us why you don't want these diapers. Oh, you want to talk to somebody? Here's someone from Bangladesh. Tell them why you don't want these diapers.
The state's comparison spreadsheet, which has no scores, no rankings. In fact, the closest thing to a score sheet is the agency's final recommendation, listing Baby to Baby and one other nonprofit, which the state notes offered more diapers in more sizes and direct-to-consumer distribution, which Baby to Baby could not.
Wait, was the other organization a bank?
It was Diaper Bank.
Okay. I was about to say, the only bank I think that would be associated with fertility would be a sperm bank.
No, this is a diaper bank. It's a nonprofit that is donation-based out of Oakland. They've been around for many, many, many years, and they have the infrastructure to actually give out the diapers to people. Baby to Baby does not have the distribution to do this, but now they have $40 million, and they can figure that out. So the question is, again, Gavin Newsom's the one that at the press conference said this was a competitive bidding process. We now know it's not. And why was the organization with ties to Jennifer Sebold Newsom chosen over the organization that could have done this more efficiently for cheaper?
Still, the state selected Baby to Baby anyway, locking in a contract with 400 diapers sent home with each baby in newborn and size 1.
What if you have twins?
You get 800?
What if you have triplets? What if you're Octomom? How many diapers are they going to send you home with?
And only, no returns or exchanges.
Okay, this is a scam. The nonprofit that's getting paid by the state to give out diapers to new parents won't let you return or exchange the diapers that you do not need because the kid already outgrew them. I'm guessing so they can go back and say, well, now, Gavin, we need another $40 million for size 2.
All sales are final.
40 million diapers.
Now, the contract also specifies that the program's oversight committee is exempt from California Public Meetings Law, and any talking points must be mutually approved by Baby to Baby and the state. Now,
this is all attention that Gavin did not need. Who put him up to this? Because you don't get there's no good press that actually came out of this. Nobody paid attention to that press conference outside of the bizarre framing of why we need this in the first place. What is Gavin getting out of this?
Well, and the wife in particular is attracting all kinds of negative attention. I'm sure when he picked her, he thought, okay, she's an actress. She's from a wealthy family. She'll produce good-looking kids. She'll be nice arm candy. And she's not going to bring me any negative headlines. And now look at it.
There is no profit included in this deal, but it does include funding for 12 taxpayer-funded baby-to-baby staff positions.
Yeah, of course there's no profit. It's a nonprofit. But now the state is subsidizing 12 jobs at this nonprofit to fulfill a service that nobody was asking for. This is as California as it gets.
I'm surprised it's only 12 and not more.
Warehousing, shipping, and 8 to 9 cents per diaper. Though we don't know how much baby-to-baby is actually paying for each of those diapers, manufactured in Mexico.
Oh, boy. They're not even California manufactured diapers. Wait a second. What if it's the diapers in Mexico, not the lettuce in Mexico that contains cyclosporiasis?
And the records show that baby-to-baby declined to name its manufacturer during the RFI process. Now, we asked the state if they do now know who is manufacturing baby-to-baby's diapers. We have not heard back.
Boy, this sounds as crooked as Gavin Newsom's weird deal to supply masks from China from electric car manufacturer BYD.
And this is the one we know about. How many deals like this are going on that we haven't heard about yet?
Well, that's what Diapergate is truly about. What she found out was so many different of these massive contracts were not through a competitive bidding process, which makes you wonder why and who exactly is getting the deal and who are they connected to.
One of many questions that we've asked the state that we're waiting for answers on, and we'll keep you updated when or if we get answers. For CBS California Investigates, I'm Julie Watts.
And like I said, we're going to be replaying John's interview with Julie Watts from last week tomorrow at 2:30 because the stuff that she has uncovered, she is one of the best reporters in the state of California. And if you didn't get a chance to hear it, you need to hear all the things that she has uncovered in this weird diaper deal from Gavin Newsom.
Dirty dealings going on in Sacramento. Now, that isn't the only thing going on in Sacramento right now. Randy, there's also a fight over AI campaign ads that's also heating up in the state capitol.
Just give me a second here because now I have to switch to today's stuff, and then I have to add this, and then I have to go over here. Yes, Adam Schiff, the senator from California, thinks that AI ads are bads. For more, here's ABC 10.
With election season heating up, campaign ads are, of course, everywhere. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. As AI becomes more sophisticated, one California lawmaker wants to limit how it can be used to influence voters. ABC 10.
You know what this is about? This is about Spencer Pratt generating a ton of interest and shaming Karen Bass and shaming the California Democratic Party for how they've run Los Angeles and how they've run the state of California and becoming an even bigger celebrity than he already was because of it. They don't want future candidates to be able to do the same thing.
Well, especially when that guy that was doing those videos for free, Spencer Pratt, just got hired by Steve Hilton. What's interesting, though, is when we originally started talking about AI and campaign ads, everyone's big fear was deep fakes. Like everyone's seen that video that was from like 4 or 5 years ago where it had Barack Obama saying things that he would not say, and it was really hard to tell that it wasn't him. The AI campaign ads that we're talking about now, it's very obvious that they're not real.
No, it's cartoons, mostly.
Nobody thinks Steve Hilton is really fighting a robot. Nobody thinks that Spencer Pratt is really Batman. And, well, some people might think that Karen Bass is the Joker, but that's on you.
And is here to break it down for us tonight.
Well, Alex, Democratic U.S. Senator Adam Schiff is the main author behind the AI Ads Act.
By the way, we're not going to feature it. But if you go on Twitter, the guy who created all these things, Charles Curran, in response to Adam Schiff writing this bill, he made a video of Shifty Schiff and Ro Khanna in bed together.
We might have to play that.
I don't know if we can. Okay? I'm already getting some notes from management that I can't put politicians inside the images that I create for the show. So I don't know if we can or we should. You got to remember, this show has the staffing level of a startup with the bureaucracy of a big conglomeration. So we're just going to have to deal with it.
This comes after Republican candidate for governor Steve Hilton released an AI-generated ad that Schiff argued...
Now, I think we can play the clip that's featured in the newscast, but I can't wait to get a note after this show.
...is problematic and fraudulent. He hopes his bill can put a stop to this, but experts say changing the rules around political ads will be an uphill battle. In a recent ad from Republican...
No, I think that's really Steve Hilton.
Oh, yeah. Hilton fighting the robot. That happened.
Gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton. It shows him as a fighter against what he calls the machine. Featured in the AI-generated ad are images of Governor Gavin Newsom, former VP Kamala Harris, and Democratic gubernatorial candidate Javier Becerra.
It's already a violation of the law to defraud people.
That is not AI. That is actually what Adam Schiff looks like, with a little too much cheek makeup.
Well, after he got called pencil neck, I think that really got in his head.
And political advertisements. I've reintroduced legislation, the AI Ads Act.
This bill, if passed...
The AAA? You're going to get sued.
...would expand the existing federal election law and prohibit the use of AI to falsely impersonate candidates, campaigns, or political organizations.
And by the way, you want to talk about where you have free reign to say all kinds of misleading information? That's what political ads are all about.
And by the way, while he's out saving democracy, this is the same son of a bitch that tried to get me kicked off Twitter.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Wash your hands often and always before eating and after toileting.
The bill would apply to anyone or group who produces these ads. To be clear, this would not ban the usage of AI in campaign ads.
All of these ads, total fakes meant to misrepresent to voters the positions of real people, real candidates, real incumbents.
But author and journalist Al Tompkins says it'll be difficult to pass this bill as the rules and regulations around campaign ads are heavily protected.
The courts have always given the widest possible berth to free speech when it comes to politics. So the courts federally have been very reluctant to restrain speech, political speech. But in the age of artificial intelligence, states have stepped in to do the work that generally would have been left to Congress.
In 2019, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill that would crack down on deepfakes in elections. And in 2024...
And that's not what this is. This isn't making it look like you might actually get fooled by something. The videos that are going viral are very obviously not real.
No, what they're trying to do is ban parody. They don't want to be made fun of. They do not like it. They can't handle it. So they want to make it illegal.
There's a lot of thin skins in Sacramento.
Or signed 3 additional bills addressing deceptive AI-generated election-related content. But even with these new laws, Tompkins says it's still up to the voter to be educated when consuming political ads.
We've been able to alter the way that people sound in recordings, on video and film for decades. So there's nothing new about that. What's new is it's easier and even more convincing now. But it's not new that politicians lie about each other. That's not new.
In a statement, Steve Hilton says in part Adam Schiff is another creature of the same corrupt machine and wants to silence criticism. He adds that's not democracy. ABC 10 did request an interview with Senator Schiff, but Alex, he declined.
All right, Ginny, thank you.
There you go. Adam Schiff wants to go after AI campaign ads.
Maybe he had to sharpen his neck and get a new eraser. It's the John Phillips Show.
No purchase necessary to enter or win. Sweepstakes open to U.S. residents only, except New York and Florida. 18 and older. Rent 11/126. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit CarProSweeps.com. Sponsor Acuity Marketing, Inc. DBA CarPro.
Now's one of the best times to enter to win a 26 Corvette Stingray at CarPro.com. For a limited time, qualifying entry packages receive up to 30 times the entries. Win a brand new 2026 Corvette Stingray or $40,000 cash. This special launch promotion won't last long, so don't wait. Go to CarPro.com today and get entered. Now, let's talk more about CarPro.com. Listen to this 5-star review from listener Jerry from Westminster about her experience with CarPro.com and Honda World of Westminster. Quote, Ray and Sonny were the absolute best, and I can't even describe how much they treated me like I was important to them. Class acts, and I can't thank them or appreciate them enough, end quote. For the same kind of VIP treatment and rockstar pricing, go to CarPro.com, put in your zip code and what you're looking for. Or call or text message Tom Haynes directly on his cell phone at 818-435-6797. Stop doing it the hard way. Go to CarPro.com. It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, not only can you listen to the show on the radio, you can watch us live on YouTube, participate in the chat, and click that like button.
All right there at johnnydon'tlike.com. We bought a domain name just to make it easy to find us. So just type into your browser on your phone or on your computer. johnnydon'tlike.com takes you right to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel. We're at over 3,740 subscribers to the channel. You can like today's show. All of that helps push us into the stratosphere in the YouTube worlds. And after we're off the air, there's tons of on-demand content that's available to you, including the Accountability Podcast. So if you haven't watched this week's episode where we talk about Kamala Harris and her potential presidential run, watch it right after the show at 3 o'clock. We would appreciate it if you watch it, like it, and leave a comment.
Fix California Hour continues in moments. Don't you go anywhere. Okay, let's get real for a moment. If you've been injured, car accident, motorcycle, slip and fall, the lawyer you choose matters. And I'm telling you right now to do your homework. Before you hire any personal injury attorney, pull out your phone, look them up, and read the reviews. Clark Fielding has successfully represented so many of our KABC listeners, and it shows. 5 stars on Google, 5 stars on Yelp. Now compare that to a lot of the big, heavy advertisers you hear everywhere else. You'll see ratings that are all over the map, some good stars and plenty of bad ones. That should tell you something. When people are hurt, stressed, and vulnerable, reputation and results aren't optional. They're everything. If you've been injured and want real answers, call Clark Fielding at 833-88-SHARK. That's 833-88-SHARK. Or find them online at clarkthesharklaw.com for a free consultation. Look them up, read the reviews, then decide who you want on your side. That's Clark Fielding, the Jaws of Justice, at 833-88-SHARK. It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to watch us perform the show live, go to johnnydon'tlike.com. All right. We know that energy is very, very, very expensive in the state of California. And Randy, in Northern California, it could be getting more expensive very soon.
And this is about as PG&E as it gets. PG&E, that got 6 approved rate hikes last year, wants to hike their rates again, and not for wildfire prevention, not for upgrading their infrastructure, simply to give more money to their shareholders.
I'm sure the ratepayers will be very happy to hear about that.
For more, here's a report from NBC in the Bay.
PG&E is raising eyebrows tonight, asking for a rate increase on natural gas to fund a $26 million shareholder reward.
You know, at this point, it's probably a good idea to invest in PG&E because California wants to make sure this company will never lose.
I did that once before. When they were on the ropes and Gavin had to step in and help them, I said, there's no way Gavin's not going to step in and help them. So I bought a bunch of stock and it went up.
PG&E claims it's...
I mean, hell, when they burn down a whole town, what do they give the victims? PG&E stock instead of cash.
Ratepayers money by keeping costs down, and shareholders should be rewarded for that. As NBC Bay Area's Judy Hernandez tells us, that's not sitting well with customers.
The PG&E rates keep going up, and our Social Security doesn't.
67-year-old Janice Mercado and her friend
I mean, it does go up every year, but by like $5.
Yeah.
Ms. Henry had plenty to say today after learning PG&E wants to raise their natural gas rates. We caught up with them at their senior knitting club in Antioch, one of the few activities they say they can afford.
They're going to have to cut back on yarn because of you, PG&E.
Well, she's going to have to put together a thicker blanket because she's not going to be able to afford to turn the heat on this winter.
PG&E needs to drop the rates instead of raising the rates.
These rates only go in one direction, ma'am.
Need to give back to the consumers instead of the big pocket people that already have plenty of money. We all have to count our pennies. That's why we're here at the senior center for some social activity that doesn't cost a fortune.
PG&E has notified customers it's requesting a rate hike to fund a $26.6 million shareholder reward.
They're not even trying to lie and say that this is for wildfire prevention. No, this is just because we want more money.
Well, a lot of people talk about the Getty family as being the family that allowed Gavin Newsom to have a political career, and they were his big benefactors, and that's true. But PG&E was right there along with them. Without PG&E, there's no Gavin Newsom. So there's nothing that PG&E wants that Newsom is not going to give them.
Well, and you go back to Gavin's biggest blunder during the COVID days, that dinner at the French Laundry in Yountville, where he said he was celebrating his best friend's 50th birthday. Wasn't his best friend. It was his lobbyist friend. And who was he the lobbyist for? Netflix and PG&E. Just after Gavin Newsom orchestrated their bailout.
They say they saved consumers $170 million by purchasing the lowest gas prices possible.
Sure.
Yeah, they're doing us a favor.
Do you remember what happened? And this was true with PG&E, San Diego Gas and Electric, and SoCal Edison. When the war started in Ukraine a few years ago, they decided they can make a bunch of money by selling all of their natural gas to Europe and then buying new gas on the spot market and selling it to Californians at triple the price.
How could we forget?
People were calling into the show telling us that their $100 bill turned into $500 and they could not afford it. And do these companies care? No, they're making tons of money left and right. And you might ask, where's the regulators here? Where's the California Public Utilities Commission? Well, the people that Gavin appoints to the California Public Utilities Commission are all former people that worked at PG&E and SoCal Edison.
November of
How many members of the legislature are former executives at PG&E?
Well, Lisa Calderon is one.
2022 to October of 2023. While most of the savings goes to consumers, they believe shareholders...
And wasn't it one of your legislators, Chad Mays, who is not even in PG&E's area, that helped orchestrate that bailout too?
Yeah, and then he went to work for the firm that represents PG&E.
Deserve to be rewarded. In a statement, PG&E says under CPUC rules, customers retain the majority of those savings, while shareholders may receive a performance-based incentive when procurement costs are lower than the established market benchmarks.
These companies are guaranteed a specific rate of return, and they are guaranteed rate hikes and all kinds of things. It was one of the only things that was positive about Tom Steyer's incredibly annoying campaign for governor.
We're at a big-ass crisis.
He was the only one going after these monopolies and their behavior, which has been reprehensible.
PG&E, because they think they did well in keeping it not too high, now they want a reward just for doing their job.
PG&E is the only company that could say with a straight face, no, we deserve more money because we've kept your rates real cheap. Good luck with that.
And their job is to keep rates as low as possible.
Mark Toney, the executive director of the Utility Reform Network, calls the request outrageous and unfair.
If they want their shareholders to be rewarded when they underspend, then their shareholders should be held accountable.
Hey, that's the name of our podcast.
A new one dropped earlier this week.
It's the most meaningless word in the English language.
When they overspend, And that's not what PG&E is asking for.
PG&E says if approved, bills will go up about 41 cents a month. Janice and Janice say when you're scraping to get by.
Wait, they're both named Janice?
I wonder if everyone in that senior center is named Janice, even the men.
Maybe that's just, part of your life. If you're named Janice, at some point you're going to be into crocheting.
Every penny counts.
Why don't we get the reward? We've been paying the bills.
Hello?
Give it back to the people that are paying the bills. It's hard.
Okay, just noting that the majority of these women in a Bay Area senior center all sound like they're from New York.
Yeah, not one of them sounds like they're from here.
For us seniors to make our bills.
California Public Utilities Commission isn't expected to make a decision on PG&E's shareholder reward request until sometime next year. Jody Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News.
So there you go. Pacific Gas and Electric once again wants more of your money, and they're not even pretending that they're going to do anything good with it. They just want more of your money.
Okay, so they want to be rewarded for what they regard as being good stewards of their company for many moons, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is the same company that was held criminally responsible for the fire in Paradise, burning the entire town down and all the people who were there. It wasn't that they were found to be civilly responsible, although they were, but criminally responsible as well. They were charged by a local district attorney in Northern California criminally for that fire. No one ended up going to prison, but they were convicted in that trial. And now they want to pat themselves on the back for being such a good California company.
And if you want any proof that Gavin Newsom does nothing but hold water for this crooked, corrupt company, every single time he is at a wildfire press conference, he was at a conference with Cal Fire last week, he will inevitably bring up Paradise, Grizzly Flats, Greenville, and will blame all of those on climate change, not on who started all three of those fires, faulty, none paid attention to equipment from Pacific Gas and Electric. He constantly wants you to think that PG&E had nothing to do with those fires.
I would love to know what the people who burned alive think about this, but as it so happens, we can't get comment from them because they're no longer here, thanks to PG&E.
Should we try to get Tyler Henry on as a guest?
We could. But if we can't do AI, I don't think we can do that either. It's the John Phillips Show. It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is a telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. How we doing on the likes, Randy?
Let's check out the ticker. If you're watching us at johnnydon'tlike.com, and if you just want to stop in for a couple of minutes in between a break at your job, we're currently at 234 likes for today's show. So thank you so much. The like button is the thumbs up button. And the more of those we get, the more YouTube thinks that we're popular, and we get a little dopamine drip, and we love that.
All right. Yesterday, we told you about a development in West Hollywood, an abandoned development that was taken over by coyotes. And today, Randy, we have an update on that story.
And the update, if you have small pets, will piss you off as much as it pisses me off. People keep feeding the coyotes.
Idiots.
For more, here is CBS in Los Angeles.
The city of West Hollywood telling a local developer to fix the problem.
Well, that's after a pack of coyotes made their home in an empty condo complex under consideration.
Oh, this empty condo complex has been sitting here abandoned for 2 years. I thought we're in a housing crisis.
Okay, so on that point, a friend of mine who knows about this texted me after the show and gave me an explanation as to what likely happened there and what is likely producing buildings that are abandoned like that all over Southern California. Here is what he had to say. One of the big reasons why a lot of these projects become abandoned is because in a city like West Hollywood, for instance, they have so much pushback from the NIMBY crowd about the development. The city puts so many extra requirements on it that it takes years and years and years to get permits and approvals. So that by the time that they have those costs for the project have changed and they have to go redo the financing, and sometimes it doesn't work out, or sometimes earlier permits expire and they have to start that over because the other part of this process takes so long when the city makes them jump through all of these hoops. Nothing can happen quickly, and that kills projects that have already broken ground. He then went on to say, the pandemic and the subsequent inflation screwed a lot of that stuff up. Anything that was approved right before the pandemic, they got the financing based on the cost at that time, but then everything was delayed through the pandemic, and the cost of everything went up by like 20%. So then they don't have enough money to actually start the project, and then they have to go redo everything on top of the hurdles that the city puts on them.
So in other words,
the bureaucracy is real.
Yep.
Shangy, soothsayer.
CBS LA's Nicole Comstock is live in West Hollywood with concerns from residents and the city's demands. Nicole?
That's right, ladies. And tonight, a wildlife rescuer told me realistically it could take a couple of weeks for an expert to come out here, start monitoring these coyotes, come up with
a couple of weeks? So that means how many cats are they going to eat between now and then?
They can't have any more urgency than that.
Well, this is California.
Plan and then carefully kick them out. Perhaps they were shying away from the limelight today, but we finally spotted the coyotes of the now infamous Coyote Condos right around
Coyote Condos, Tiger Towers. LA has so many landmarks.
sunset, hunkering down in the middle of the unfinished building. It delighted their many admirers.
These people are so stupid. Seriously, I feel like, and I've been to other cities, in Los Angeles and West Hollywood counts, I feel like I live with the dumbest people on the planet.
It's like the new Walk of Fame.
Heck, even the dogs wanted a look.
I also haven't seen any of them today, and I see them every day.
What a relief for neighbor Cindy Sorley. She's been worried about them since last night.
Not worried about them eating pets. Now we're just worried about the wild animals.
She says someone drove to the construction site and dumped raw meat over the fence.
Oh, God.
A bunch of chicken drumsticks. Seriously, do not feed the coyotes.
Some guy just came over and dumped like 60 chicken legs raw.
Maybe he got them from Boyle Heights.
I don't know.
Chicken legs.
She says she saw one of the coyotes dragging a drumstick away, and then they seemed to disappear for the whole day.
Well, they didn't need to hunt that day.
I wonder if he's trying to poison them.
That's what she thinks. But no, that's not what happened. It's just a bunch of idiots.
At home, I was like, oh no, did someone try to poison them? You know, that went through my head.
The city of West Hollywood says their main focus...
By the way, that is a real tactic that in Texas people try to use to knock down the wild boar population that is a literal pest to communities that can tear up yards and houses and everything else. They try to poison them.
Is on securing a prompt, humane wildlife assessment and response. They've been in contact with the property owner's representative and say they expect them to promptly address what can only be called a wild living arrangement.
Realistically, it should probably take about maybe a week in order to devise a plan. How are they going to do it? Are you going to exclude them via the building, via the fence?
Mary Cummins of Animal Advocates is a state-licensed wildlife rescuer. She says trapping the coyotes won't work because they're too smart to go into box traps.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of Looney Tunes. Wiley was pretty dumb.
Constantly kept running off cliffs.
The best plan of action, she says, would be to haze or scare the alpha male and alpha female out of the condos when they're all together around 8 p.m.
So if you were to, delicately, carefully haze out the parents, the juveniles would follow them out.
And then they would probably just find a different spot in the neighborhood.
They're already living in the city. They live in the city.
She says to deter them from denning here again, where they've unfortunately
So instead of being in the abandoned condo, we want them in the neighborhood where they can be even closer to people's pets?
Habituated to getting big bowls of water and French fries. The owner should probably board up.
You know how the coyotes would leave? If people stop feeding them and giving them water.
I don't think the neighborhood wants them to leave, though. I think the neighborhood thinks it's cool that they're there.
I got to get out. I've got to get out. Even for California, Southern Californians, specifically LA County, are the stupidest people on the planet.
The bottom levels of the condos because coyotes can easily climb over and crawl under fences.
They have to monitor if the babies are ready.
Some neighbors are worried about the 3 coyote pups living here being sent off into the city. But Cummins says there's no need to.
This is the time of year when the parents start teaching them how to hunt.
Great. So they'll go after everyone's small dogs, and then we'll celebrate them because the kids learn how to hunt. These are wild animals, and they are pests, and anyone that treats them any differently is a freaking moron.
Now, Cummins also suggests using trail cameras inside the building to determine what parts of the building the coyotes are actually staying in and to figure out if their plan is ultimately successful. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Nicole.
Do you know how long this story would be if it took place in Texas? Some coyotes took over a condo. Someone shot them. Story over.
Wouldn't even make the news at 11.
It really wouldn't.
No, the people are the problem here. Because those coyotes are never going to leave.
They're wild animals, and they're being taught right now that, hey, I should stay here. These people will feed me. And if they don't feed me after they already fed me, maybe I should go to their house and eat their dog. That's what they're telling us right now.
And they'll probably end up doing both.
Yep.
All right, we've got one more hour coming up on the John Phillips Show. If you're watching us live at johnnydon'tlike.com, click that like button. What are we at right now, Randy?
We are. Let's check the tally board right now. We're currently at 252 likes. You guys are killing it. Hit that thumbs up.
All right, we have one more hour to go. Don't you go anywhere.
The mainstream media left out. Delivered just right. It's the John Phillips Show.
And we continue at 2:05 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wang's in Culver City.
Johnny, we're broadcasting live on the radio on 790 KABC and 810 KSFO. And now we're almost at the end of our first month of broadcasting live on video. And we've made it easier to find it. You just go to JohnnyDon'tLike.com. Put that in your phone. Put that in your browser. JohnnyDon'tLike.com takes you right to the YouTube channel where we do this live every single day from noon to 3. You can play around in the chat room. Hit that like button. Treat the like button like a coyote and feed it. You can also subscribe because we got tons of content on the channel, on-demand content, some of the interviews from earlier in the week, some of our favorite segments. You can also get our accountability podcast, which you should definitely watch at 3 o'clock right after we get off the air by keeping it right here at JohnnyDon'tLike.com.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. It is scheduled to be a scorcher this weekend all through the Southwest. Las Vegas, Arizona, New Mexico, Southern California. Palm Springs is supposed to hit 120 degrees on Saturday. And there are scheduled power outages that are supposed to take place at the same time.
In Calabasas, which is a region governed by, you guessed it, SoCal Edison, they're telling residents in the middle of a massive heat wave, oh, you're not going to have any power to run your air conditioning for a while.
What the hell are they supposed to do?
For more on this story, we go to CBS in Los Angeles.
Planned power outage in Calabasas has people concerned as the heat is expected to pick back up.
And SoCal Edison is saying they aren't postponing the outage. CBS LA's Brittany Ehrman joins us live from Calabasas now with the community's plea to Edison. Brittany?
Well, Pat Arruda, the company spokesperson, called around 5 today saying they were pushing the outage start time back by 2 hours after reevaluating its plans. But the residents...
Oh, it'll be okay. It's not really, really, really hot at 8 o'clock at night.
So 2 hours is supposed to be a big deal.
This isn't, by the way, like anything. This is just planned maintenance that, you know, maybe they could have scheduled in April. Or even May or June. It was a pretty cold June, but you're scheduling planned maintenance and shutting off the power in a neighborhood in the middle of August?
Or how about this? Do it when they're Christmas caroling.
We spoke to today say it's not enough. They say this goes far beyond comfort. It's about health and safety. As Calabasas heats up, some parts of the city are preparing to power down.
On a heat wave. It's horrible. It's unbearable.
And do you think SoCal Edison credits their ratepayers when they have a planned power outage?
Yeah, right.
Southern California Edison is planning 2 overnight outages.
Seriously, it's a neck-and-neck race as which is the worst company, PG&E or SoCal Edison. They are cut from the same cloth. We burn down Northern California, we burn down Southern California, and then we charge you for it. SoCal Edison got approval earlier this year to increase their rates so they could pay the wildfire victims of the Woolsey fire from years and years ago.
August 4th and 5th, impacting more than 500 customers in Greater Molewood.
Our house gets so hot, it's harder to sleep when it's so 80, 90 degrees in your house.
SCE spokesperson David...
You know, I went away, I think it was last weekend or the weekend before that, and I set my thermostat to 90 degrees because you're not supposed to just turn it off because the wood will warp on the inside of your house if it gets too hot. I came back forgetting that I put some chocolate in the pantry.
Oh, no.
And it was a gift for a friend of mine. And she came over for dinner this week. And I gave her the box of toffee. It was a beautiful box of English toffee that was fantastic. And she's a massive chocoholic. And so she gets home and she said that she wasn't going to tell me that she did this, but she tore the box open the moment she walked inside. And she said it was a big blob.
Oh, boy.
Eisenhower says they notified customers 2 weeks in advance. He says the company can't
2 weeks ago, it was still a heat wave.
postpone the work because crews are upgrading equipment to reduce wildfire risks and prevent future outages.
And why wouldn't you do really? We need an outage to prevent future outages? Why can't you do this when it's convenient?
You know what I think they're doing? I think they're having a scheduled outage because they think that there could be fire risk at the same time. And if they just turn it off and there's nothing live, no fire can start.
SCE's
Well, that's what they said they were going to do with all the winds back on January 7th. And we saw what happened at Eaton Canyon with their tower that had been deactivated since the 70s that they didn't get rid of. Seriously, why do we allow these monopolies to run all over us? Oh, that's right. All of our politicians are bought and paid for by these bastards.
website initially showed the outage beginning at 7, but late this afternoon, the company told us after reevaluating its plans, they were able to push the start time back to 9.
Wait, they're going to do it all overnight? So you have to go a whole night. Have you ever gone a night in the summer where none of your power is working?
I can't sleep. If it's too hot in the room, I cannot sleep. Because when it's cold in the winter, if your power goes out, you just put on more blankets. But over the summer, you can only get so naked.
I'm going to make sure that I don't make that a drop. In the summer of 2017, I was living in a townhouse in Reseda, and there was a massive blackout in the San Fernando Valley in the middle of summer. I think it was late August. The temperature inside my townhouse got up to 113 degrees. I had no choice but to take my dogs and go sit in my car with the garage door open with the AC on because it was the only way to cool off.
It is so hot right now, my pool is not even refreshing. If you were to jump in my pool right now, it feels like you're jumping into a bowl of pea soup.
Gross.
I haven't really seen that before where they change hours. So they must have gotten quite a bit of pushback.
Calabasas Mayor James Bozanjian says the city received numerous complaints from residents worried about losing air conditioning during the heat wave. He says those concerns are rooted in safety.
The elderly and some people maybe with disabilities, they have limited ability to get out of the house or to go somewhere else or to take alternatives. And certainly people with young children.
She is a long-hair shepherd and she will pant literally all night long, and I can't even imagine what that's going to be like.
Residents say they support the upgrades, but not.
By the way, you noticed that woman wouldn't even put her face on camera, like she's worried that Southern California Edison's going to put a hit out on her.
Well, you've seen how these companies operate.
Of their health and peace of mind.
I just think that there could be better planning for this. It's called reschedule the entire thing, not just reschedule the hours.
And the electric company says they chose the overnight hours in coordination with the city to minimize the community's impact.
It still seems pretty damn impactful. Why are you doing this in August?
Now, the mayor did say that they're working on plans to make sure those vulnerable residents have somewhere to go and cool down as this heat wave arrives.
You know what we're going to need? A cooling center. So let's all go pack into the library at midnight.
Live in Calabasas tonight, Brittany Ehrman, CBS LA.
Brittany, thank you. And
well, I guess it doesn't matter if you're in Northern California or Southern California. If you happen to be a ratepayer of one of these utility companies, you know that they don't give a rat's ass about you.
So nobody in Calabasas is going to sleep well tonight.
Well, week from Wednesday.
Week from Wednesday, okay. Well, get a hotel. Moving north to Sacramento, the battle between California Governor Gavin Newsom and state employees is still raging over whether or not state employees have to go back into the office.
The SEIU has had it with Gavin and his return to work mandate, which, by the way, there's not enough parking spaces for all the people that are supposed to go back. So now there is a parking space lottery going on with state workers. They also have certain buildings like the Department of Education that are infested with bed bugs. For more on the contract fight with the SEIU and Gavi, here is Fox 40.
At 5:30 p.m. starts now.
It has been nearly a month since Governor Newsom's order requiring most state workers to return to the office at least 4 days per week took effect, but weeks into the mandate, the fight over...
That one worker was not very enthusiastically waving that thing.
No.
It's far from over it, as tense contract...
Wait, did those signs say Gavin Newsom teleworks? Because that's true. He's almost never in the state.
Yeah. He's campaigning for president in South Carolina and Nevada and everywhere else.
Contract negotiations continue between the
And he doesn't even live in Sacramento anymore. He lives in Marin.
state and its largest employee union. The return to office policy is becoming a key flashpoint while the governor remains firm. Thanks for joining us tonight for Fox 40 News at 5:30.
She meant on his stance.
Oh.
Just wanted to clarify that for everybody.
Thank you for that.
I'm Nikki Lorenzo. Eric Harriman is off tonight. Fox 40 Capitol reporter Eitan Wallo spoke with state workers demonstrating against the policy and has the governor's response as he doubles down on it.
Nearly 1 month since Governor Gavin Newsom's return to office order took effect for most state employees, the demonstrations against his policy have not let up.
These people are so pissed off, they're standing on the streets and protesting in Sacramento in the summer.
What's with the purple gas?
It's a good question.
State employees continue to speak out against Newsom's mandate requiring most state employees to go into the office at least 4 days per week.
And of course, we know why Gavin Newsom wants people back into the office, because he wants more people harassing each other, because that's what he did when he was mayor of San Francisco.
Well, when he did that, it resulted in him having sex in the back of some bar in North Beach. Maybe he wants that for everyone.
Up from the previous 2-day per week requirement.
The governor is making a big mistake.
State employee Francesca Wander is among those against Newsom's policy.
My message is that for 6 years, California state workers have been working successfully and productively.
Well, we're going to need a reference for that.
How do you think she decorated her den?
From home.
Members are frustrated.
Anika Walls is the president of SEIU Local 1000, the union representing more than 100,000 state workers impacted by the governor's order.
Who brought their dog to the protest?
Maybe they're trying to keep the dog away from the coyotes.
Who brought their baby to the protest? And who put the sign in the baby's hand?
She says since Newsom's order went into effect nearly 4 weeks ago, it's been tough on workers who now have to pay more for gas and parking while dealing with other logistical challenges at the office.
Space issues, parking issues. I have individuals who are sitting in a conference room just to make space.
I want to see people back at work. I want people re-engaged.
Newsom.
You engaged with your staffers.
Oh, yeah. We read about that in Vanity Fair.
He literally says in this thing, I want people to build relationships and fall in love. You know, we have a whole bunch of different rules against those kinds of things of fraternizing in the office, but we know what Gavin's playbook is.
And by the way, I mean, let's just look at this realistically. If you work at the DMV, do you really want to have sex with someone else who works at the DMV too?
You might. You might both get off on making people wait.
At a press conference last week, doubled down on the policy, arguing his mandate is not a big ask, adding it will improve struggling downtown regions and businesses.
It's all about the poor sandwich shop, even though we don't address that the reason the poor sandwich shop doesn't have any business is because downtown isn't safe.
Or how about this? The sandwich shop doesn't have any business because Jared killed their image.
Statewide.
They're barely holding on because everybody left. The downtown cores of
Who sent them home?
Yeah. Was there someone who ruled us like a warden all through COVID, who shut down our entire economy and kept the kids out of school? Who might that be, Gavin?
Been hollowed out. And all I'm asking for is You get 3-day weekends. You still do.
Do you show up to Sacramento 4 days a week? Where's he tape his podcast? I think he tapes that at Marin, too.
4 years ago, that would have been a triumph. Now it's some burden. So
you know what telecommuting is? Campaigning for the mayor of Las Vegas.
respectfully, I have a different point of view.
It all comes as SEIU Local 1000 leaders say their members have been working without a contract for about a month now. While the return to office mandate remains a major sticking point, the union is also pushing for a minimum 20% raise over 3 years, along with improved health care and retirement benefits.
Oh, boy. Well, I guess the state budget's not going down anytime soon.
Nope.
Last week, the union accused the state of failing to bargain in good faith and filed this formal complaint with the California Public Employment Relations Board.
And usually the unfair practice charge is the precursor to a big old strike.
We demand higher pay.
And I don't know if that's going to look good for Gavin Newsom in his final few months.
No, it's not.
We are ready and fired up and willing to fight. And
You got to hire Cecily. This woman does not inspire outrage the way that Cecily does.
And I want you to be all the way pissed off.
Well, she should have gone with the big glasses.
so we get the contract we deserve.
Now, Cal HR said the state does not comment on ongoing negotiations, but added this, quote, the state remains committed to continuing to negotiate in good faith with its labor partners. Meantime, SEIU Local 1000 leaders say they are holding what they describe as strike schools for their members to educate them about what a potential work stoppage could look like, though they did
Okay, how long is strike school?
Can you get detention?
Actually, a strike might be good for some of these workers, like the guy on the left.
Stop short of saying a strike is imminent as contract negotiations.
Just because you're working from home doesn't mean you can't get a treadmill.
No. Exercise bikes don't take up that much room.
Continue. At the state capitol, covering local news that matters, Eitan Wallace, Fox 40 News.
It is a growing...
So there you go. State workers are now starting the precursors to a possible strike, and their main demand is they don't want to go back to work 4 days a week, even if you're forcing them to, Gabby.
It's the John Phillips Show.
I love my Solaire infrared grill. I have had it for over a year, and this weekend I got to go pick up some steaks because I'm going to be doing some steaking this weekend. I love doing steak on the Solaire. I love doing chicken on the Solaire, not just chicken thighs, chicken breasts, and they don't come out dry. It is great, and it's really consistent. You know, sometimes when my wife would have me do sausage night on the grill, it would be kind of hit or miss if everything was undercooked or overcooked. We're getting a real consistent cook with a beautiful char on the outside and juicy meat on the inside every single time I fire up the Solaire, which gets up to 1,000 degrees in just 3 minutes. But look, don't take my word for it. I love the grill. I've upgraded my grilling game. Check it out for yourself. See if it makes sense for you and your home and your lifestyle. They come in gas and propane hookups in all different kinds of shapes and sizes. So look it up for yourself. The website is besthotgrill.com/Randy. That's besthotgrill.com/Randy.
It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you can not only listen to the show on the radio, but you can watch us perform the show live on YouTube.
We are broadcasting live every single day on the radio on 790 KABC and 810 KSFO, but now we've got a YouTube show. We are live on video every single day. We've made it very easy to find us. Just go to johnnydon'tlike.com. That's johnnydon'tlike.com on your phone or your web browser, and you can check us out. You can hang out in the chat room. You can hit that like button. You can subscribe and see all of our on-demand content, so you'll have plenty of stuff to enjoy and watch when we sign off at 3 o'clock. We just saw a comment from Adam in Huntington Beach on the chat room here. Was there a link released to the Show Drops website? Yes, there was. You can now play all the drops you want of this show by going to cashierisdummy.com. That's cashierisdummy.com.
If the cashier is dummy.
And yesterday, I taped the Triggered podcast with Donald Trump Jr. People are emailing, asking where they can find it. It has not dropped yet. It hasn't gone live yet. Earlier today, I also taped an interview with Jesse Kelly for his show, I'm Right on the First. I know that airs tonight on the First TV. And if I get a link, I'll tweet that out so you can watch it there. But we've been busy promoting the new podcast, Randy.
Oh, yeah. I did the California Underground podcast, and some of those segments are being collaborated that you can actually see it on our channel and their channel. And we're trying to spread the word and go on other shows and have other shows come on our show because that's what you do. You go on the circuit and you promote what's going on here. So help us out. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your social circles, tell your next door about johnnydon'tlike.com because we really need to take over this internet because I need to move out of LA County.
Coming up next, we're going to open up the California crime blotter. Don't you go anywhere.
Hey, everybody, it's time for the Weekend Review, brought to you by our friends at Sterling Venue Ventures and where music meets the soul.com. Sterling Venue Ventures, your local concert promoter, has some great entertainment coming your way. Coming to the Canyon and Agora Hills, we've got Thelma Houston, Too Short, Young Dubliners, Orianthe, Glenn Hughes and Dead Daisies, Danny Serafine, Chicago Legacy, Henry Capono, Oingo Boingo former members, and more. And just added to the lineup at the Saban Theater, it's Jesse Cook and his Forever Live Tour. Coming soon to the Oxnard Performing Arts Center, War and Pancho Sanchez, Todd Rundgren, Psychedelic Furs, John B. and Kenny Lattimore, Louis the Singer, and more. For information on these great events and more, just go to the website where musicmeetsthesoul.com. That's where musicmeetsthesoul.com. There's lots of great entertainment out there and some beautiful venues where musicmeetsthesoul.com.
It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to watch us perform the show live, go to johnnydon'tlike.com and click that like button. All right, it's time to open up the California Crime Blotter.
It's happened yet again.
I see. Time for the California Crime Blotter.
And Randy, this edition of the Blotter involves the net.
Okay. Once again, we've got an update on Mia Ventura, the OnlyFans model who happens to be engaged to former gubernatorial candidate Stephen Klubeck, who has been accused of meeting up with old rich men and robbing them.
Now, Mia Ventura is no relation to Jesse the Body, is she?
No, because Mia Ventura, much like the name Randy Wang, is a fake name.
Well, so is Jesse the Body Ventura.
Good point. For more on this insanity, let me pull up the thing right here. Here is NBC4.
We're also following new developments tonight concerning the model and social media influencer who's accused of using dating apps to steal from wealthy older men. She is.
And you know what? Some of these wealthy older men had it coming for thinking they had a shot with her.
How did she meet Klubeck?
Probably from the same apps. But she realized, oh, this fish is so big that I'm going to get him to think that we're in on this together, Bonnie and Clyde style.
He seems like he'd be fun to hang out with.
Well, his best buddy was Eric Swalwell.
Back in jail tonight. NBC4's Robert Kovacic joins us with exclusive details about what led to this latest arrest. Robert.
Carolyn, and we have some new information that is just into our newsroom. Adva Levi, a.k.a. Mia Ventura, was out.
Yeah, Mia Ventura is a better name if you're going to be an OnlyFans model than Adva Levi.
Yeah, for sure.
On her own recognizance after pleading not guilty to 6 felony counts earlier this year, but she was forced to wear an ankle monitor. The Beverly Hills Police Department tells us she will be in court tomorrow, and the LA County District Attorney's Office tells NBC4 tonight, since the judge has now revoked her bail, she will remain behind bars until a bail review hearing, and that is set for...
Mia Ventura's going to jail, everybody.
Why is it always Ventura that they pick? It's never San Bernardino.
Friday. All of this after what we learned happened last night.
She's a social media influencer.
Any old, disgusting billionaire like Steven Glubeck that thought they had a shot with that, yeah, you're being scammed.
Don't bust the trust.
She's appeared in Playboy and Penthouse and as an OnlyFans model. She's also been known to use several different names.
So if she's the OnlyFans model, was Klubeck taking pictures of her feet to put on the website?
Maybe.
The woman authorities call Adva Levy, a.k.a. Mia Ventura, arrested last night in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills police tell NBC4 she was arrested on a theft allegation out of Riverside County.
And this is while she's already on bail for stealing.
The theft allegation is separate from the trouble the 29-year-old is already in.
I bet you Klubeck paid for that Porsche.
He might have, or maybe it was the guy before him.
Having pled in March not guilty to 6 felony counts. Prosecutors allege that from 2023 to 2025, Levy used dating apps and cultivated relationships to burglarize and steal from wealthy older men and younger women in Westlake Village, West Hollywood, Los Angeles, and Beverly Hills.
She was going all over. What's with the steal from younger women? What's that about?
I don't know. Maybe the door swings both ways.
She is accused of posing as a girlfriend and travel companion to gain access to victims' homes and then stealing cash, gold, and high-end designer items.
And she did this over and over and over again to a whole bunch of rich guys that a lot of them wouldn't even admit it because they were so embarrassed.
You think she took anything from Klubeck?
Yes.
NBC4 first began to investigate the allegations. A Las Vegas podcaster told us Levy was not only a guest on his show, but an alleged thief.
First of all, what is this podcast that is inviting OnlyFans models, and it looks like 12 of them at once to speak?
And someone got robbed in the green room?
What is this show?
Claiming.
Maybe we got to go on there to promote our show. Access Vegas.
Mia Ventura used her appearance to slip into the backstage green rooms to steal from other guests.
She's on a podcast. While the podcast is recording, she says, I need to go to the bathroom because, John, as you are well aware, sometimes these podcasts go on for an hour and a half to 3 hours. And she slips into the green room and steals everything that was in every other woman's purse in there.
At the 45-minute mark, she gets up and she goes into the green room where all the girls have left their purses, and she proceeds to, for probably the next 23 minutes, maybe a little shorter than that, she goes, rummages through all their purses, she gets cash and credit cards out, and then she comes back on the show.
And NBC4
Wait, so she finished the hit? She didn't just take off?
Well, she had to get those final plugs out. I mean, what's the point of doing the podcast if you don't promote your website? Onlyfans.com/Mia.
Also looked into the felony case against her fiance,
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget that there's a reason that Steven Klubeck is all over this story, because Steven Klubeck is currently awaiting felony charges because he was intimidating witnesses that were going to testify against her.
Allegedly.
This guy ran for governor. This guy, with all of this going on, thought, I'm the guy.
Billionaire.
And then he backed Swalwell.
Just good judgment all the way around.
Well, it shows you that you can get real lucky and be a billionaire even with terrible, terrible judgment. And you know how he became a billionaire? Through ripping people off from timeshares.
Steve Klubeck, accused of attempting to intimidate witnesses in Levy's theft case. Charges his lawyer told us are false. Steve Klubeck was also a major supporter
He
of
kind
Eric's.
of wears his shirts like Donald Sterling. Have you noticed that?
A little bit.
Sterling
Swalwell
always has his dress shirts unbuttoned down to his belly button. And Klubeck kind of has that look there. It looks like he dressed Swalwell, too.
Well, let's not forget, these two were real close. Klubeck was inviting him on fancy vacations to France. When the Swalwell scandal broke out, Swalwell was staying at Klubeck's house. I wonder if Swalwell knows Mia.
Run for governor, making headlines when he confirmed to NBC4 Swalwell was holed up in his Beverly Hills mansion.
You know, even before all the allegations and even the whispers, you just look at Swalwell and you can tell he's a creep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can 100% judge a book by its cover.
Certain guys just have that look. He has always had that look.
When his campaign imploded.
I was very concerned for his mental health.
This was the day before Seedorf got him and got the immortal line, "Don't bust the trust."
That's on the soundboard.
It is. Go to cashiersdummy.com.
And I made sure he was okay. He's not here. He's left. I have no idea where he went. But, you know, he needed a couple of hugs. Okay.
That was the problem.
Yeah. After some drugs.
Okay.
Once again, Adva Levy was arrested last night in Beverly Hills for a theft in Riverside County. We have reached out to the Riverside County District Attorney's Office for details, but have not yet heard back. She was also arrested for a violation of a court order. The specifics we still don't have. For now, I'm Robert Kovacic. Carolyn, more to come.
Oh, indeed. Robert, thank you.
So there you go. The OnlyFans model that has been stealing left and right from rich men up and down the state of California while awaiting charges and on probation gets arrested again. All the while, her boyfriend, Stephen Klubeck, is facing charges of allegedly threatening all the guys that were going to testify against her. It is just a whole bevy full of scumbags.
I think Klubeck likes to mix things up.
He is a strange guy. Just remember, this guy thought he was going to be governor, so I guess that means at one point he thought that Mia Ventura Adlavavi was going to be California's next first partner.
Now, that would be quite an administration. Imagine her going through the purses of the members of the legislature when the State of the State address is being given. Maybe going through their cars in the parking lot.
Our first elected kleptomaniac family.
Going through the coats and the coat check. It's the John Phillips Show. It's the John Phillips Show. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. If you're watching us live over at johnnydon'tlike.com, click that like button. The more likes we get, the farther and wider our messages spread. So thank you so much for clicking that like button. And if you haven't done so, please give it a click.
Or the modern day Amy Semple McPherson.
Here with an update on the story we just brought to you, Mr. Randy Wang.
Listener Brian just emailed us this. It just posted minutes ago at the California Post. So thanks, listener Brian. Exclusive penthouse pent dumped by billionaire fiance is after arrested again. Klubeck has finally called it quits with Mia Ventura, a.k.a. Adla Vavi.
I wonder what was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, apparently they were having dinner in Beverly Hills when the cops came. She was not wearing her ankle monitor. And this arrest actually goes back to a theft from the spring of 2025 where she was stealing from people at their Airbnbs in Coachella.
Allegedly.
The latest arrest stems from a grand theft charge that dates back to April of 2025 when LaVie was attending Coachella. She is accused of stealing items from more than one victim at a rented Airbnb, including high-end jewelry, sunglasses, and an expensive wallet. I have to scroll through because some of these pictures, she is very scantily clad. Come on, California Post.
Sounds like she has some problems.
Yes, she does. And it looks like this was the final straw. What is hilarious is that after the initial charges, Klubeck was still going to go forward with this engagement, not realizing that he's just another victim. There is a word that he is being called in the chat that we cannot use on the air. But yes, you're right. He's that.
Well, now Klubeck, he's a free agent again.
Well, yes and no. He also might be going to prison for making all those threats.
He could be the next Golden Bachelor.
And if you win, you get to go with him on an all-expenses-paid vacation to one of his crooked timeshares.
I don't know. Maybe he'll find love again.
Don't bust the trust, people. Don't bust the trust.
It's time to reopen the California crime blotter.
It's happened yet again. It's Wild Wild West out here.
It's the California Crime Blotter with John
And Randy.
And this edition of the blotter takes us to Stockton.
And for a while, it seemed that all the smash and grabs had gone back to crowbars and hammers. Let's go back to a recent era of smash and grabs that involve cars and pickup trucks, as someone used a pickup to try to slam into a Stockton grocery store. Why? Who knows? For more, here's ABC 10.
Tonight, police say two people used a pickup truck to try and break into a grocery store in Stockton, and it was all caught on camera. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has a closer look.
At Stockton's Big Valley Food, the recovery.
Okay, first off, that's a mini mart.
Yeah, it looks like a glorified liquor store.
For a second, I thought, who's crashing into a Ralph's? This is not a Ralph's.
No, it's not.
Has entered a second day.
We're a family store, and stuff like this definitely sets us back.
Stuff like this around 3:30 Tuesday morning.
They were able to cut the locks on the actual shutter. They were on foot, and they were able to force the door open. Then the alarm rang. When the alarm rang, they ran away.
Store owner Amrit Singh called police. He thought it was over.
They left the job undone.
But just 15 minutes later, the team of two came back, this time with a pickup truck.
These guys are the big bad wolf.
And it's not like this store is not secured. It's basically inside a cage.
That's why they needed the truck. They were getting that ATM. What do you think they were going for? Do you think they were going for the ATM? Or do you think they were going for all the prizes in that claw machine?
Maybe it's a Scratchers.
could see it on the live feed. Immediately, I know they were about to back into the building, and that's exactly what started happening. They started ramming into the building.
Security camera.
If you're wondering why your car insurance is so expensive, there you go.
Boom.
A video shows it happening not once or twice, but 4 times.
They weren't able to back it in at the right angle, or because
Okay, these guys definitely had the right kind of security system, because this is withstanding all kinds of damage from a pickup truck.
Do you think they purposely drove the car through the front door, or do you think they're just blowing a point too and they think they're parking in a handicap space?
my grills, they weren't able to get into the building. When I got here, there was about 6 or 7 patrol cars sitting here waiting for me to come.
Those would-be burglars were not able to get away with anything, but business owners say the losses are still significant, tens of thousands of dollars.
Even if they actually stole whatever they were going to steal, it pales in comparison to the amount of damage that was done to this business.
Damages and in security upgrades being installed today.
Now I'm left with $20,000 in damages, and no one's here to pay for it other than me.
You have to put those tire spikes right outside of every aspect of the store. That'll do it.
He's going to need a new cage, too.
Doesn't make customers feel welcome to a store when they think that this is the type of stuff that happens.
This is a very good store, and that's sad that this has to happen to them. You know, I feel bad for them, and, you know, it's just got to stop.
I'm Reed.
You think she was there for produce or booze?
Cigarettes.
Hoping it stops too. Installing metal posts where the truck was able to back in. Days later, his store still recovering.
We never expected to actually need to use these levels of security. It was always just precautions. But at the end of the day, it just shows you anything could happen. You never know, and you should always be prepared.
In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
And investigators say they're still looking for the car and the 2 people involved in the case. And so if
we couldn't get the license plate on that security camera as it backed into the building over and over and over again.
How many times do they have to hit the building before the camera picks up the license plate?
Have any information, please call Stockton Police.
There you go. A pickup truck ramming over and over and over again into a Stockton grocery store. My goodness.
It's not even Oakland.
Well, Johnny, we're about to sign off, but the party doesn't have to end for all the people watching, because our channel at johnnydon'tlike.com is full of on-demand content. First off, if you haven't seen this week's accountability podcast, it's right there at johnnydon'tlike.com. It's right under this live thing. And when we go off the air, it's the first thing that's on there. Check out our episode covering Kamala Harris and her potential run again for the presidency. It's a good one.
We are doing it.
There's also tons of content related to all of our recent segments that we've had a lot of fun with. Pretty much the best 2 or 3 segments from every show I put up online, including our diversion programs for shoplifting from yesterday, what really went on that trip to Vietnam, Shangy. It's all right there. So stick around to the website after we sign off and watch all of our crap at johnnydon'tlike.com.
And if you're up early tomorrow morning, I'll be on Breitbart Radio with our pal Mike Slater promoting the Accountability podcast, so check that out. All right, that's going to do it for us today. We'll see you tomorrow at noon for another edition of The John Phillips Show.